Israeli strikes have killed at least 10 people in Gaza, including children, according to local health officials. This as Hamas says they're in talks with the US over a ceasefire in the region ahead of Donald Trump's visit to the Middle East this week. Alistair Bunkle reports from Jerusalem.
Donald Trump comes to the Middle East to visit Saudi Arabia, Qatar and the UAE this week, or this coming week, and there is huge anticipation about what might be announced, particularly in relation to the war in Gaza. We know the Americans are putting together a plan to allow humanitarian aid, desperately needed humanitarian aid, to get back into Gaza, which we think has the Israeli backing, and would utilize a private contraction firm, probably made up of former US soldiers. Now, that has been criticized by some because it would bypass aid agencies. Initially, at least, quite a significant proportion of Gazans wouldn't be eligible to receive that aid, because the idea is that by using private contractors, you would ensure that it didn't get into the hands of Hamas. But we think that that is being worked on. But now, talks between the various interested parties, that is, obviously Hamas, the United States, Egypt and Qatar, seem to have resumed in something of a meaningful way. We're not sure, we don't think that these are direct talks between the United States and Hamas. But there is a suggestion that as well as aid delivery into Gaza, there could be attempts to try and broker a new ceasefire deal. Now, the backdrop to all of it is that the Israelis have announced plans for a major escalation in Gaza once Trump leaves the region. Trump, incidentally, is not coming to visit Israel as it stands. And the Israelis are calling up thousands of reservists, preparing the military. They're saying they're going to conquer large parts of the Gaza Strip. You've got right-wing nationalists within the Israeli government saying that Israel will remain there and occupy Gaza permanently. And so I know that Arab states are trying to lean on Hamas to say, do some sort of ceasefire deal. If nothing else, it could delay the Israeli offensive and allow time for more talks. But Donald Trump, we know, likes to make big announcements. He likes to boast about major wins. And he was certainly congratulated for getting the last ceasefire over the line. But that ceasefire collapsed back in March when Israel broke it and continued fighting in Gaza. And it has somewhat embarrassed Donald Trump's foreign policy on this front. So it could be that there's an American-led drive now to see whether another ceasefire is possible, that is all wrapped up in Trump's visit in the next coming few days.